Welcome to the deep dive. We cut through the noise, get straight to the point so you can get informed fast. Today we're digging into a really fascinating Canadian puzzle. The big coffee clash between Tim Hortons and Country Style.
Yeah, it's a classic.
We'll look at their histories, how the coffee actually gets made, and the real deal on taste, price, and that huge cultural piece. Our goal, figure out what really drives coffee loyalty up north.
And what's so interesting, I think, is how quickly it goes beyond just the coffee itself. It really becomes about Canadian identity,
Yeah.
buying habits, and how a brand can almost become part of the national furniture, even if people quibble about the product.
Right. So where did they start? Let's maybe trace those roots first. Tim Hortons, everyone knows the name, right? Founded 1964, NHL legend Tim Horton. Apparently the name even tweaked slightly because of Quebec's language laws, aiming for that national feel.
Exactly. And their marketing, it really leans into this sort of artisanal process. You hear about master blenders, roaster masters, roasting one batch at a time, beans from Colombia, Guatemala. It's a carefully built image of craft.
Mm-hmm.
And that story worked. I mean, it worked incredibly well. Tim Hortons just wove itself into the fabric of Canada. Hockey naturally, but also maple syrup, poutine. The Timbit Sports program, too, that's huge for embedding the brand early. And that low-key, kind of quiet vibe, it clicked with a certain idea of Canadianness.
Built a ton of goodwill.
A ton. Way beyond just the coffee.
Okay, but then there's the other player, Country Style. Surprisingly, they actually started earlier, 1963. And they even had more stores than Tim's for a short while back in the 70s, believe it or not. But they lost that lead.
They did. They've tried to pivot, like with that Bistro Deli rebrand around 2006, trying for a more maybe upscale feel, broadening the menu.
Yeah, moving beyond just donuts and coffee.
But it shows a different path, doesn't it? More reactive, maybe.
Yeah.
They also use 100% Arabica, Colombia, Sumatra for their blend. But the story, it's just not pushed the same way.
Yeah.
Less detailed. They haven't really forged that same strong narrative.
Which brings us neatly to the coffee itself, the taste. And this is where it gets, complicated. Tim Hortons' original blend, some say smooth, others, let's be honest, you hear watery, bitter, needs the double-double treatment.
Right. And here's the twist. Country Style's coffee. You often hear surprisingly good things.
Yeah.
Like well-balanced, smooth. Some people flat out say it's, objectively higher quality.
So that's the paradox. If Country Style potentially tastes better, why is Tim so dominant?
Exactly. It tells you right away. Taste isn't the whole story. Not even close, perhaps.
Okay, so if not just taste, what is it? Maybe sheer convenience. Price. A small Tim's is around $2. Medium's 10 ounces, Country Style regular, maybe $2.12. But their medium is 16 ounces. Extra large, 24.
So ounce for ounce, especially on the bigger sizes, you might be getting better value at Country Style. Potentially. But value isn't just the liquid volume, is it? Tim Hortons has, over 300 to 600 stores? Country Style, maybe around 1,000. And lots of those are sort of tucked away in gas stations or smaller spots.
That ubiquity factor, it's huge.
Massive. It's just there all the time, everywhere. That convenience often trumps everything else. It's the default.
And the loyalty programs seem to reflect that too. Tim's Rewards is super simple, right? 7 visits, get a free coffee or whatever. Easy. People use it.
Yeah, it's straightforward. Country Style's Bon-App MTY Rewards.
Yeah.
It's part of this bigger multi-brand thing. People seem to find it confusing, maybe not great value. A lot of people don't even know about it.
So another win for Tim's in just making it easy to stick with them.
Reinforces the habit. Simple as that.
Which really, it all seems to circle back to culture, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Tim Hortons is just woven in so deeply. The hockey connection, double, becoming like actual Canadian vocabulary. It creates this emotional bond that makes people forgive a lot, product-wise.
Totally. That cultural integration is their superpower. Country Style, despite having a history, despite the potentially better coffee, according to some, they just haven't built that same connection. Maybe inconsistent service sometimes, marketing that doesn't quite land. It makes it hard to compete, even with a decent product.
So wrapping this up, our deep dive really shows Tim Hortons' dominance isn't necessarily about having the best coffee, objectively speaking. It's more about being everywhere, being part of the culture, and telling a story that resonates with, Canadian identity.
Yeah, and Country Style's story is kind of a cautionary tale, isn't it? It shows how tough it is to fight a cultural giant, even if your coffee might arguably be better. Loyalty is built on the whole package, the feeling, the convenience, the story, not just one element.
So here's the takeaway question for you listening. What does this tell you about what really brews loyalty? Is a technically better product ever enough on its own? Or is it the story, the feeling, that daily ritual? Is that what ultimately wins hearts and wallets? Something to think about over your next cup.